Hey, what up, what up, what up? It's the homie Pedro. Today's interesting. So, day before Thanksgiving. Um, and maybe I'm not the only one going through this, but I had a call from my uncle. He lives in New York. Um, I'm in Utah, and he's been he's a very successful person. He's multimillionaire. Uh, been a carpenter for 50 years. He's in his 70s. He's yoked marine type. Um, and he was like, "Hey man, like talk to me. What's going on?" And I was telling him, I was like, he's like, your mom told me that, which is his sister. He's like, your mom told me that you blocked her number, and I was like, yeah, I had to for my own well being. So this video is about going no contact, and I've heard this before, and man, I should make a list, but I'll just go off top of the head. Two two older sisters, two older brothers, and a younger brother. Younger brother is born on my 16th birthday. We just not that close. Um, my sisters don't bug me too much, but I mean, can you watch kids stuff like that? Normal stuff. Um, but with with my mom, I'll get phone calls 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm a failure, bad kid, let down because I sometimes I keep telling her to not do payday loans, and um and then I feel guilt tripped, because that's family can do that, they'll guilt trip you, and then I like to say that I never cave in, but I have. There's been one of my brothers, he's same one that yeah, hand thing. Also like rocked to the head a whole bunch of times. Hit me with a car 3 days before basketball tryouts. Um, back when I was gonna try out for community college, and but I realized when I was talking to my uncle, it was a good 2 hour conversation. And I thought he was gonna like chew me out, like, hey, but no, you need to. And then he was like, no, you're doing the right thing. He's like, she shouldn't be calling you or texting you um just to you know cuss you out. Like another brother, he so after my phone call with my uncle, and he had to explain because he grew up with 7 siblings, and he's like he couldn't be successful if he had to cut off a lot of his siblings. He only talks to one of his brothers. The other brother he talks to, also millionaire, owns his own auto body shop. Um, and makes good money. He specializes in fixing up like sports cars, stuff like that. And so yeah, I was talking to him because I was talking about the Marine uncle, and because I was bummed out because I got this pre apprenticeship program that I was going to, and every time I try to like help family members, something like that. I mean, I've had them steal my books like that I need, like assignments that I've done just for the heck of it. Um, uh, money, of course, clothes. Um, gosh, uh, they would get my my ex's phone numbers, and one of my brothers, the same one like that, he's starting to exhibit schizophrenia, um, fentanyl, meth. I hate I hate those drugs. I really do. because my other brother talks to himself, and he was one heck of a dude growing up. I still idolize him from afar because it's hard. It's hard to see his current state and knowing who he was. And so, anyways, I go to the pre apprenticeship place, and the lady, she's real direct. You know what I mean? And I always appreciate people that are direct. I don't trust people that sugarcoat things. And turns out she had to cut off all of her family. The master electrician had to cut off all of her family. The master welder, he had to cut off all of his family. Like, and they were saying it was for peace. I've met people who gotten into the trades, like they'll get right out of prison, get into the trades, and they'll say the same thing. I had to cut off friends, family, move for sanity. And when she was telling me that, it wasn't out of spite, it wasn't out of anything. She's just like, look, we can redo your stuff in January, but until you cut those toxic people out of your life, you're never gonna succeed. That, and she's like, and if you start your apprenticeship and then you start being flaky because like I'll put it this way, I missed two classes because I was watching my niece, and my brother left, and he's done this before. I lost a job one time because of this 2020 when I lost a job. Um, he left me with my niece, and it's like, hey, I'm gonna go to the store. Do you need anything? It's like that typical dad went to go get cigarettes and never came back, and he would just disappear for like a week, you know. And I'm telling you, once your family finds out that you're a giver, I forget where I read this, but once they find out that you have porous boundaries, then they'll continue to take, and they won't respect any of your boundaries. They'll use you as a doormat. Once they find out that you're a giver, then the amount they'll take is unlimited. So it was really eye opening, especially because Thanksgiving is tomorrow, and I honestly don't, other than like my dad, stuff like that, I don't want to talk to majority of my family. I mean, of course, my nieces, my nephews, stuff like that, they're cool. Um, but yeah, just being burned so many times by my own family. And it hurts because I see families that are very functional, but when you add in drugs, all that stuff, there's no more boundaries, there's no more function. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, so my brother, yeah, he would get my he one time he called I had a whole list of people that, like, this is back in high school, like pre cell phone, and he was calling a bunch of people, and he sounds like me. He got mad, called all the people on my list, and was like cussing them out. Some people knew it wasn't me, but I remember I had a friend. His mom after that hated me because he's like, "F you, you effing blah 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 blah," to the dude's mom. And I don't think she ever, yeah, I don't think she ever really believed that it wasn't me. But yeah, as far as that, like, even with my son's mom, my brother, he would call her once he got her number, and because sometimes, you know, try to co-parent stuff like that, but he doesn't have her number or anything. But he would be like, "Oh, guess what? Guess what Pete said," and then make up something, and like just to cause chaos. Some people, I've said before. I mean, the same brother planted drugs on my bag when I was already on a plea agreement of 5 years. Had I messed up once, I was gonna do 5 years in prison with no good time. And to add that on, the intent to distribute, man. And I was telling my uncle about it. I was like, even though that happened in, you know 2009, yeah, 2009, maybe early 2010. I was telling my uncle, I was like, I would probably still be behind bars, and nobody would have been able to believe me. And yeah, I'm just family sometimes can hurt you the most, man. And yeah, majority of successful people I know had to cut out their toxic family, and I've been trying it for years, but today was a wake up call of all wake up calls, because it was just, I don't believe in that being a coincidence. Like my uncle having an in depth conversation, and you know, and then after that, instructor telling me that, you know, like, yeah, you can still like pass, but until you get that fixed, you're just gonna your life's gonna be like this. And I was telling her, I was like, it's been that way ever since I can remember, you know. And yeah, I take accountability for stuff. I wasn't like blaming my family and stuff like that, but I mean, they people know, people know, especially if they've been through it. And you know, I'm just tired of making up excuses for my family members, man. I really am. Just not worth the heartache. So yeah, so I'm going no contact and see where I'm at a year from now. So tell my uncle I'm changing my number, but I'll give him my new number, because I can't deal with it. Like I don't know how to block voicemails, but it's definitely a bad way to start the day when you have "I'm gonna kill you, mother effer," blah 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 blah. One of your older brothers saying that to it definitely is like, because you wake up and like, oh, I got a voicemail. I wonder what that is, because sometimes it is important, and that's like what I wake up to about every other day. So, and the last thing I want to do is pass on my trauma to coworkers, people that are close to me, my friends, and yeah, man, my best friend, he tells me, he's like, dude, he's like, I feel bad for you, because he doesn't talk to my violent brother. He's like, but that's your brother, so you kind of have to deal with him a lot, you know. He's like, but I don't talk to him anymore. He hasn't talked to him for years, and yeah, I mean, for inner peace, sobriety's sake, you know, I've had issues with alcohol off and on, and I'll go good, and I'll notice a trend. Is all of a sudden I'll get really dark, and man, some family members, they just know how to kick you when you're down. They don't even try to help out. And it was the instructors, like, those are your older brothers. They're supposed to be looking out for you, not the other way around. And yeah, I mean, well, I'm talking about people. Some people had to cut off their own kids, because kids stealing, stuff like that. And yeah, so one love, peace out, stay safe. I'm going no contact with my family. See you on the other side.